Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. How's everyone doing today? We are we are back. The appointment I thought I had was canceled. Hello, Angaris. So we are here at our usual time today. Angaris has redeemed as first. Thank you for that, Angaris. New headset, so I hope everything is sounding good. Things are sounding okay on my end, so hopefully everything is good on yours as well. Um, Hopefully I won't have any more issues with, headphones cutting out. Good so far. Perfect. Hey, JJ, welcome in. JJ has redeemed second. Welcome in, JJ. How are you today? So I was just saying we got a new pair of headphones today. Hopefully everything's going to be a lot better with that and everyone's going to be able to hear me better. And hopefully no more problems with things getting disconnected. I didn't think I was either. I had an appointment that was set, but it was canceled, so here I am. So I thought maybe I'd have to stream a little later, but it worked out, so that's good. And I decided today we're going to go ahead and we're going to go play Strange Horticulture. So everyone seemed to really like Strange Antiquities when I played it, and this is the prequel to that game. So this is the one that came first, and it's about working in a horticulture shop and the weird things we find there. It was a really fun game, and this one is a lot of fun too. Um, so this one is very similar. So we wind up in running a shop, and we wind up getting all these different things on various plants, and we have to use the plants to solve a mystery that's going on in the town. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started because there is a bit at the beginning that there is to see. So I want to make sure everyone was able to see that. So I didn't even start the game yet. So we'll start our game and we see a map of Undermere. The streets of Undermere are narrow and claustrophobic. In many places, the buildings lean out at the upper floors so that neighbors can reach across and shake hands, or more likely exchange unpleasantries. All right, so, hmm, all right, let's see. Not streaming the right one. Okay, let me do this. Okay, and there we go. All right, so now we've got the right one. So we find out a little bit about the place we're at, this Undermere. We did kind of learn about it in the last game as well, but we find out here the streets are very narrow, they're claustrophobic, and people are more likely to exchange unpleasantries than friendly greetings. So, bit of a dark, gloomy kind of place. Strange Horticulture is a small shop situated away from the main thoroughfares, but it has the advantage of being one of the few buildings in Undermere that stands alone. Plants you may have noticed need light, and light is in short supply at street level in this town. Recently, the shop passed to me after the death of my uncle. There's much to learn, but one thing is already clear. The rare and unusual plants that he stocked have their uses after all. Let's put the music on with this one. It's a little hopefully that'll be okay. All right, day one, Friday. This game features some small text. If you're having difficulty reading, you can hold shift to zoom in. Okay, so the note that's left behind for us, I found it. An excerpt on the elusive wandering beau. Come to the library in Ambleside, and I'll tell you all about it. I even found something on the gilded dendra that might be of interest. Simone. P.S. Give Hellebore a good scratch behind the ear from me. That is some small text for sure. So we have oh, this is changed. Okay, so oh, they updated how this works. So we have all of our plants here. We have Hellebore over in the corner, so we can pet our kitty. And then we can call people in. So, ooh, I haven't seen this since before they changed it. Yes, we still have the kitty. And Hellebore, I love because he's a little black kitty, and I love black cats. So we're gonna want to go see Simone at the library in Ambleside, and she will give us some content. So if we go ahead and open this, we'll find our map. And in this case, we our will to explore, we have to build that up before we can go exploring. So we can't just go wherever we want. Now, this, if I hold shift, I wind up with my magnifying glass, and I want to go to Ambleside. So I'm going to look through this. There's Arnside. Um, Here's Undermere. Here's where we are. Oh, here's Ambleside. So we're going to want to go up here to the library. Oh, maybe I have to do this to, there we go. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to go to Ambleside, and there should be our library there. The library here in Ambleside is one of my favorite haunts. Simone, the librarian, is always helpful and friendly and shares some of my passion for unusual plants. Today she's grinning ear to ear and can't wait to show me what she's found. So we have some book entries and we get a little picture of what the library looks like. So we have entries on the wandering beau and the gilded dendra. So we can go ahead and add those to our book. And you'll see our will to explore is rising again. So we'll wind up having that um, as we go. And then letters. Dangerous plant grows sparsely in the hills to the northeast of Backbarrow. Keep it a secret. Okay, so when we have our will to explore, we'll be able to do that. We have our items. So we have our book, we have our magnifying glass, and again, we have one of these, just like we had in the previous one, where we'll wind up putting this on there and have to, like, we'll have it on a particular square, and then we'll use it to find our clues. And then we also have our labels, just like before, that we can add to our plans. So go ahead, we'll close that up. We can archive this one, and then we'll close this. So let's go ahead and give Hellebore a pet, and we'll see what we have. Victoria Gray. I must have walked past the shop 100 times without ever stopping to look. What a wonderful place to spend your day, surrounded by plants. I came here because I have an unusual request. At night, I hear whispered voices, too faint to hear clearly, coming from the floor above me, but nobody lives up there. The rooms are empty. My curiosity has gotten the better of me. I must find out what they are saying. So we need St. John's poppy. So if we pull out our book here, just like before, we start with a handful of contents and with a note from the author as well. This encyclopedia can be used as a reference to help identify plants. Note that where I have included sketches, these are not always intended as an aid to identification. Often the description will be more useful to you. Remember to take extra care when dealing with poisonous plants. I accept no responsibility should injury or death occur as a result of misuse of this encyclopedia. So let's find our St. John's poppy. The vibrant petals of this flower can be brewed to create a draught that can greatly improve the imbiber's hearing ability. The flowers of the St. John's poppy are bright red with a yellow center. So if we look through what we have, I'm going to take a look. This one here looks about right. So they have bright red as well as a yellow center. So if I go for a closer inspection, I can pull that over here. They're red with a sweet scent. They do have the right shape. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give this one a try and use our plant. All right, so this one is St. John's poppy, so we do get a reward, which is a new thing for our book. Now, unlike in the previous game, this one does not automatically label our plants. So I'm going to actually pull the labels up over to this, and I have to label it myself. So St. John's poppy. All right. Let's see. I can go ahead and explore again. So let's go to the hills to the northeast of Back Barrow. So I'm going to bring this up. Back Barrow is, let's see, let's try, here's Back Barrow. So if this is Back Barrow, we want to the northeast. So northeast should be this one right here. Nothing here. Okay. So my wheel to explore is down again. So to the hills to the northeast. So what I need to do now, I forgot this important clue. It's in the hills. So if here's Back Barrow, this is the immediate northeast, but this is the hills. So that's where I'm going to have to go next. Let's go ahead. We'll pet hellebore. All right. Good morning. Bloody awful weather out there today. Good for the plants, though, eh? Got a letter for you. All right, let's see what do we have. Oh, it gives us some more urge to explore. Gosforth is a hateful town. I was beaten and robbed and left to die in the streets. After many days, I was rescued by a kind stranger. Just as I had come to fear, that wickedness had infected the heart of every soul in that cursed place. I began my recovery in the woods to the south of town with a group of travelers. On the northeast corner of the wood, I sat and stared at a bright flower, and tears flowed down my face at the reminder that there is beauty in this world. I shall be returning to Undermere soon. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. Okay, so now we have two different clues we can go with. Let's go ahead and start with Gosforth. So here's Gosforth right here, and let's see what he says. I was rescued by a kind stranger. Recovery in the woods to the south of town. Okay, so here's the woods to the south. Um, on the northeast corner of the wood. So here is the northeast corner. Let's check right here. The wood has a calming effect on my mind. It does me good to escape into nature away from the stench and clamor of Undermere. It is not long before I spy a bright flower among the trees. So we've gotten a plant and we can collect. So here's our new plant. Oh, that's pretty. It's like a deep, deep blue, like a deep bluish purple. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to close this up. We can archive this one. And as soon as we have our wheel brought up again, we can go ahead and get the other one. Gilbert Ames. Something's got those witches in the forest stirred up. They're not letting anyone through. I had to take the long way round down through Back Barrow. I never did trust that sisterhood. Anyway, I'm here now, and I've brought Fennett from the south to trade for some lemon dandy. Hardly worth the trouble when you factor in the extra miles I had to cover to get here. So if we give him lemon dandy, he's going to give us Fennett. Oh, wrong one. Let's go ahead and get our book. And he wants lemon dandy. Lemon dandy, its curled leaves are thought to be the origin of the name of this plant, supposedly referring to a peeled onion rind. Among several medicinal uses, the flower of the lemon dandy is mostly associated with curing afflictions of the heart. So it's going to have curling leaves and fluffy looking flowers. Let's go ahead. This one has fluffy looking flowers. Oh, here we go though. That one has the curling like a lemon rind. So let's go ahead, closer inspection. Smells faintly off-putting but not overpowering. Okay. That definitely looks like a peeled lemon rind though. So let's go ahead and use that one. And then we wind up getting a plant in return. Okay, so we know now this one is fennec because this is what he told us we were going to get. So let me put this one here. This is lemon dandy. And then this one that we just received is fennec. I'm going to put that though in a purple just because even though I know that's what it is, I haven't used it yet, so I'd rather have a confirmation of that. All right, let's go ahead and explore because we've got that hills to the northeast of Backbarrow, which was right here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Thank you. I try to use um, I try to use a good system for labeling everything, but I also, like in that case, since I know what it is, but I haven't had it confirmed, it's good to use a different color. I like how in Strange Antiquities, though, not only could we use different colors, but also different shapes for the tags. That definitely gave us a lot more um, diversity to have a system like that. All right, so in the hills, the weather changes fast out in the hills. What started as a gray morning has turned into bright sunshine. A good thing, too, because it takes me several hours to find what I came for. By the time I'm done, the cloud is sweeping back over, a cloak of unwelcome shade. Ooh. It almost looks like blackberries or even mulberries, except growing up out of the plant instead. So that's interesting. All right, so I'll put that in our archive. Mm, all right, Faye Swift. My dreams are becoming more vivid. I saw a woman, her face hidden behind a mask, and next to her a terrifying black skeletal creature. It stood tall, its roving head scanning the landscape, and though it had no discernible face, I could sense a hint of an expression about its features. It seemed to be laughing, but not the joyous laughter of a child, a sickly, horrifying laughter that chilled me like the first breath of winter. So she wants some forest camphor. Okay. Real quick, I want to ask because it's not showing that my audio. Can you guys hear the rain in the game? Is the game actually like, can you hear what's going on in the game? No. Okay. Okay, now you should be able to hear it, right? No, the silhouette doesn't match what they're looking for. You should be able to hear now, right? Problem with getting new headphones is have to reset all the audio devices. Perfect. All right, so she wants some forest camphor, and if I go back here, all right. A strong-smelling bulb of this plant has a powerful soporific effect, making it a common ingredient in sleeping draughts. The camphor produces a beautiful rounded dark blue cluster made up of many smaller flowers. Okay, looks like maybe it could be this one. So it has a large bulb. It's pungent but not unpleasant. The bulb is a soft yellow and the leaves are waxy. So it does fit the look of the flowers that are drawn. It is a dark blue cluster of many flowers, and the bulb does have a powerful scent to it. So I think this must be it. Perfect. All right, that is the forest camphor, and I get a new book entry. So for Butterdale, let's go ahead. I'm going to add this. Okay. I think I added an E in there that I didn't need. I did. Let me edit that. P-H-R-Y. There we go. I like to make sure I spell things correctly. Alright, so these I have sorted. I have these figured out. I'm going to put these all over here for right now. And then let's see what we have next. I try to be. I'm kind of a stickler. Got any wandering beau? That always reminds me of, oh, what's his name? That old hermit inventor, the Wanderer. Anyway, the beau, if you've got it. Now, something I do remember about this one is this literally does wander. So it will move around. Oh, what is this? Oh, okay. So it will wander around. It'll start in one spot and then move about the shop. I'm glad they changed that in Strange Antiquities. Yeah, I do too. Let's see. So it's called the fungus can move slowly in the dark. It's been known to cover distances of up to several meters in a single night. The gills on the underside of this mushroom form beautiful flowing lines. They're also quite hard and sharp, earning this plant the nickname Fingersbane. So this one has a cap with little speckles on it, and it looks like that. So I'm going to try. Not as spongy as most mushrooms. In fact, the undersides are somewhat sharp. Red warts protrude from the caps. So I'm going to, they are sharp, so I'm going to try this one. Perfect. All right, so we got a new book entry as well. And let's go ahead, pop that on here. This is Wandering Beau. And then we can end our day. I'm going to pet Heliport before we end the day. What does it think? It's a Whomping Willow, right? Alright, so like in the other game, this one also has the clues at the end of the day. Alright, so row H, the third river. Okay, that's my clue. It started when she found something that she was not meant to find. A book tucked away in a forgotten corner of the Ambleside Library. Alright. Day 2, Saturday. So we can start with row H, the third river. Let's go ahead to this. Row H is right here. Okay, here's one river, two rivers, and then this is a third. Okay. A dead deer in the river, yellowed bone protruding from matted hide and rotten flesh. Death for one provides life for many. And there's a plant growing in there. I'm guessing some kind of a fungus. No. Okay, we did have one that looks somewhat like this already, didn't we? Yeah, this one here looks, oh, I can actually water my plants too, so I can go around and water them. I'm gonna move this one all the way over here because I want to see if it does wander. But yeah, these two look very similar. Interesting. All right, let's go ahead, give Hellebore some pets. Isidore Burbage. Bring me a sample of Apis demyssus and be quick about it. That damn cat is setting off my allergies. Shouldn't have an animal in a shop like this. You know what? The fact that you don't like cats makes me not like you. And the cat is my manager. Thank you very much. All right, so I'm looking for Apis demyssus. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to have to just start at the beginning and look at the Latin name for everything. Speaking of cats, though, I do have two in my office right now hanging out. All right, Apis demyssus. Oh, there we go. Gandhi root. So, a plant with medicinal properties that can aid with digestive troubles when prepared correctly. Care must be taken, however, as the rough leaves can be an irritant. Only the petals are safe for consumption. Looks a lot like this one. Let's take a closer look. Rough leaves. The leaves are coarse to the touch. And it does have the little... Okay, I think it's probably that one. All right, perfect. And now they say that, you know, the pictures shouldn't be used as like your sole reference, but the pictures usually are pretty good. I mean, I noticed that in this game as well as the previous game. All right. Lake Undermere is looking fine in the sunshine today. Here's your mail. There's an old slate mine at Hardknot that has some interesting looking fungi growing in it. I've never seen anything like them before. They seem to have found a niche in the damp, dark tunnels left by the tramways. I thought you might be interested. Warmest regards, Amos Duncan. So, an old slate mine at Hardknot. Okay. I really like the way they make their teas. Okay, Hardknot. Let's go ahead and use this. There's Hardknot. Okay. So Hardknot is right over here. And let me take a look at this again. Old slate mine. Okay, so it doesn't say I have to go anywhere other than there. So let's go ahead and we'll go right here to Hardknot. And an iron gate rusted by years of abandonment sits across the entrance to the tram tunnel. Rusted it may be, but it won't budge. It is locked. But if I have Clavilium, I can open it. So let's see what that is. Clavilium. According to legend, Clavilium can be used to open any lock, no matter how complex or secure. The heart-shaped leaves earn this plant the nickname Lovelock. Okay. Okay, now that one starts to look like it, but it's not heart-shaped. This one maybe? Yeah, let's look at this one. The flowers are made up of many smaller blue flowers, and they smell pleasant. Now, those definitely do look like hearts, so let's give that a try. Very nice. Did I look into the unfinished swan? I have not yet, no. Clavilium. All right, let's go ahead and mark that one. And let me actually write that down real quick. Unfinished swan. Okay. All right, so the gate swings open slowly, complaining loudly on its rusty hinges. After a short exploration of the tunnel, I am rewarded. So we wind up with 3 different plants. All right, ooh, all are mushrooms. Um, yeah, if you want to put it in the Discord, that would definitely help. I did write it down though for myself as well. All right, we do have ads starting shortly. Reuben Ward. I'm headed to Grisdale Forest, investigating a possible murder there. Can't say I'm looking forward to it. The Sisterhood are a secretive lot, and they're not keen to talk to me. Their leader, the Arda, or whatever they call her, she's dead. My instinct is they're hiding something. I was hoping you might have some fox button that would help me win them over. Alright, so looking for fox button. An offering of fox button is considered by some to represent a contract of friendship between strangers. The thick, shiny leaves grow in opposing pairs along the stems. Alright, and there we are. We're going into ads, so I'll go ahead and I'll pause. We're doing that. I'm just going to move some of the mushroom type plants this way, just to organize. Here's another mushroom. So yeah, this way nobody misses any of the gameplay. We'll put all the mushrooms this way. And then fox button could be either of these. I'm leaning towards this one from the start just because they do look kind of like buttons. But again, that does not necessarily mean anything. Okay, let's go ahead and so we've got those set up. This one is just leaves. That one's more berries. That one's more berries, I would think. This one is more just leaves. Alright, I think I like the way this is coming about an organization. These all kind of have the same style leaves. And those are all, so I've got these kind of based on similarities. There we go. That's similar to that as well. And then all of our mushrooms are this way. So I rather prefer the Antiquities layout as well. If this was originally like that as well, so like this was in the middle, and then you would just be able to slide your thing back and forth. But yeah, this is different. I'd rather have that in the middle, I think. I definitely really preferred it with the automatic labeling as well. The automatic labeling really did help. Especially because if you get too involved in something, you're definitely going to wind up just kind of forgetting to label. No, it could be that this is what it was, and I just got used to the other layout. But yeah, I want to say that was how it was before. I do remember this going back and forth though. Okay, so fox button, let's take a look. It could be any one of these, but we know that its thick, shiny leaves grow in opposing pairs along the stems. So these all have opposing pairs. Let's look at each of these. It smells of nothing that I can detect. Okay. That does fit the look. Blue flowers with stiff leaves. So they should be thick and shiny. Small leaves and delicate flowers. So I'm going to say it's likely this one. Alright, so like, and my idea of it resembling a button, maybe that was it too, but either way. Alright, so fox button. There we go. I will move this all the way to the side with the rest of my sorted out plants. Let's go ahead and pet hellebore and then look at this. Victoria Gray. I was able to make out the whispered voices last night with the help of the St. John's poppy. There's a medium using the room illegally, I might add, holding midnight seances for gullible grievers. Is there a plant you know of that I could use to give them a scare and drive them away? I need my sleep. Harlequin Blue. I don't blame her. If people are above me having seances in the middle of the night, I would be bothered because I need my sleep. Harlequin Blue. When the bushy blue flower heads die back, they release seeds with a downy pappus which assists in wind dispersal. Once dried and hardened, the stems can be burned as incense. As they burn, they let out high-pitched shrieks, widely believed to be the spirits of dead souls trapped within the plant. Okay, so they have a rounded bulb on them, and they're flowery. It could be this one here. Yeah, it looks like it's probably this one. Let's take a look. Blue flowers with a light, airy scent. And then if I look at this, it does kind of have that bulb. The ticks do show, yeah. If it's got a check on it, that's one that I've identified. Okay, so it is a light, airy scent. Yeah, I would say this is probably it. Let's go ahead. I'm going to pull it down here for right now. Perfect. Harlequin Blue. Let's go ahead. Oh. Alright, there we go. Let's head back this way. I want to put that over here with other identified plants. Oh. Alright, Bethany Coleman. You may have heard the rumors that our Arda is dead. May Arduina bring her spirit peace. The nature of her death is unusual. The sisterhood doesn't often look to outside help, but this is beyond our knowledge. If you show my sisters this letter, they will allow you entry to the forest. To be assured of your discretion, we require that you use Mary's breath to bind yourself to secrecy. Alright, so Mary's breath. The wide, waxy leaves allow this plant to collect the large amount of water it requires. It's said that a person can be bound to secrecy using Mary's breath. It used to be grown in the royal garden so that the king could ensure the trust of his confidants, but the practice fell out of favor. Alright, so let's start with this one. It should have waxy leaves. Smooth, waxy leaves. They are pretty wide. I'm going to assume that one. It fits best here, but let's also look at this one. Ah, veined leaves have a waxy finish. The picture here does show it's veined, and they are much wider. I'm gonna try this one. Okay, I'm glad I checked both of them. Alright, so this one is Mary's breath. Let me add this. Okay, and let's see what our letter says. We have failed in our duty as protectors of the forest. Our secrets have been stolen and the Arda has been murdered. You will find us deep in Greasedale Forest, a mile from the lakeshore, across from Torver. Please help us. Yours in hope, the Sisterhood of Arduina. Alright, so let's go ahead, we'll open this up. Let me pull our note here. Yeah, it is definitely harder to call out with the plants. You do, actually. If you mess things up, you do start to go insane, and there is another thing that you have to do to get your sanity back. Okay, so deep in Greasedale Forest. So here's Greasedale Forest, a mile from the lakeshore. So 1 square is a mile. A mile from the lakeshore across from Tover. So here's Tover. Alright, so here's Torver. And then we want to go a mile from the lakeshore. So here's the lakeshore, and then here would be a mile further. Or if this is the lakeshore, a mile further would be here. Let's try this one. As soon as I step off the road, 2 members of the Sisterhood step out and remind me that this is their forest and I'm not welcome here. I try showing them the sister's letter, but they tell me I'm in the wrong place and move me along without offering any help. Okay, so it wasn't quite the right one. Oh, baby got hold of the phone, huh? Alright, so I don't have that one yet. Let's go ahead, I'm going to archive this one. Alright, here's Isidore back. I'm this close to reporting you, half-wit. The last plant you gave me has made my skin itch furiously. I'll have your little shop shut down and torn to the ground if you don't make this right. Okay, so here's our first option to pick something different. Aw, say hello and blow a little raspberry for me. Alright, Butterdale or Meekdew. So what I want to do is I want to make a specific save. I want to be able to save this one specifically. Alright, so let's look up. I want to see what both Butterdale and Meekdew are. So, Butterdale, found growing in clumps on valley sides. Butterdale has been used for centuries as a cure for all manner of skin rashes. The dark green leaves can be stewed and mulched to form a poultice. The flowers smell buttery to some people. Okay, and they're kind of, they look similar to like oak leaves. Maybe this one? There we go, has a light buttery scent. So I'm going to pull this one here. Use purple, and this one should be, dang it, Butterdale. And then the other one is Meekdew. The beautiful flowers made up of many smaller florets make this a sought-after decorative plant, although it's difficult to care for. It may be pleasant-looking, a pleasant-looking plant, but touching the leaves against bare skin will result in painful sores. So this has clumps, small leaves with delicate flowers. Okay, possibly. Small leaves with delicate flowers. Okay, do they look similar to that? Yes. So I'm gonna put this is probably Meekdew. And I want to be able to save this one. So let me Oh, I can auto label. Sweet. That's new. All right. Okay, I do want to quit. And let's see then. I should be able to start from there. Right? It's either going to be a nice or a nasty playthrough. And I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that um I can save from a different okay. So day 2 Saturday. Okay, good. So I do have 2 of these. Can I All right, let's see. Hopefully I can save from here. Oh, no, that's not the right save. Mm. All right, so all right, I'm guessing I can just go ahead and continue then. That should be fine. Don't tell me I started all the way back at the end. Okay, so oh, okay, so maybe not. Maybe they just moved things around. Okay, so here he is. All right, so do we want to be mean or do we want to be nice? Frankly, he doesn't like our cat and yeah, you're right. Let me do that. So this is day 2 with Burbage. So what do we think? I think I want to give him, oh, pardon me. I think I want to give him the meek do and be nasty to him. Not only is he not like our cat, but he called me a halfwit. You want to do a nice one? You're a lot nicer than I am, JJ. You're definitely nicer than I am. All right. So we'll go ahead. We'll collect that one. And I can change this now to yellow. Because that one was figured out. All right. So we gave him we went with the nice ending for this one. He is a prick for sure. Don't like him at all. Let's see, before we end the day, let's go ahead and see if I can go ahead and explore this again. So, in Greasedale Forest, a mile from the lakeshore across from Torver. So we tried this one. Maybe it's this one with the lakeshore being here and then that being a mile from it. All right. A sister tries to stop me from entering, but I show her the letter and she lets me through. I'm ushered into a walled courtyard and then through a large oak door, along a corridor and down a set of stone stairs into a cool basement. Lying on a table draped in silk is the Arda. There is not a mark on her, but her open eyes are black, her mouth, her veins, her hair, all black as a raven's wing. Do you know what could do this? Asks my escort. I set to work. So we need to find Wren. Um, the long leaves of the wren are known to turn black in the presence of certain poisons, and so can be used to detect them. Though it has no flower, it's said to be unpleasant to those who have known death and sweet to those who have not. So I'm going to think it's maybe this one. That does look similar. has a scent that scratches at the back of my throat. Right where is Stimpy? Yes. All right, so it does have long leaves. Hmm. Scratches at the back of my throat. That. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it because it has no flower, unless that's not really a flower, but it is fruit. Let's go ahead with this one. All right. Okay. I extract a sample of the artist's blood and introduce it to the wren, and my suspicions are confirmed immediately. The leaves of the wren turn black, which can only mean one thing: gilded dendra poisoning. Upon presenting my findings, I'm rushed away quickly. The sisters do not want me hanging around, it seems. They do, however, send me on my way with a couple of plants which I'm grateful for. Ooh, okay, so we have this one kind of looks like little tubes. Might even be this one. And this one is, oh, that's pretty and it has thorns. Nice. Let's go ahead, we'll put this in our archive, and then we'll end our day. All right, card number 2. North of Hawkshead, east of Lowick, west of Rusland, south of Crinkle Crags. All right, so I need to find something that's between all of those. The book both fascinated and terrified her in equal measure, and after studying it for some time, she reached a decision. She would never use the power she had discovered. She would hide the book where it could never be found. All right, so let's start our day by exploring. All right, north of Hawkshead, east of Lowick, west of Rusland, and south of Crinkle Crag. So, here's Crinkle Crag. So I know it's going to be south of this, west of Rusland. North of Hawkshead. So let's try. Okay, so north of Hawkshead, here's Hawkshead. So north of Hawkshead, it's still south of Crinkle Crag, so it'd be somewhere in here. East of Lowick. Let's see. Lowick and Rusland. So here's Rusland. So if I bring this all the way up here, it is west of Rusland, so likely here, and east of Lowick. But Lowick is right here. So here's Rusland, okay, so between those would be here. And then between Crinkle Crag and Hawkshead. Should be right there. All right. I really love the clues that they give you, because they really make you stop and think. Especially like the one we just had with Greasdale Forest, and trying to figure out, did they mean this shore or the shore on this side? Because that changes which spot you're going to look at. My eyes are drawn to the silhouette of a grizzled old man standing at the edge of a field. His mind is broken, seemingly beyond repair. Vacant eyes fixate on nothing. A whisper of an expression as my gaze sweeps his face, but only a whisper. He raises his arm and points. Following his outstretched finger, Or I follow his outstretched finger, and I'm surprised to find a cluster of wildflowers growing there, hidden from view. Yeah, I agree, Angaris. It's very well thought out. Oh, okay. So you have some new flowers. I'm gonna put this one over here. Ooh, did our wandering view ever move? It has. I'm gonna move you all the way back here again and see what you do. All right, so let's go ahead and put these over here. New plants up here. And this is another one that I think I know, but I'm not for sure, so I will move that one here, and then that there. That works. All right, Wilbur Miller. I'm looking for a plant. Lady of what's it? Something or other. Ugh, I'm no green-eyed drear, that's for sure. My mind isn't at all what it used to be. It's the one that's supposed to help with mental decline. So we're looking for a lady of summer. The leaves curl round delightfully, which combined with an attractive flower and a hardy nature makes this a sought-after ornamental plant. It aids with conditions of memory deterioration associated with old age. So we have two that it could possibly be. Both do kind of have that droop. The leaves curl. Okay, so this one has the leaves curled. A single sweet smelling dark flower. I'm going to say that it's probably this one. All right. Oh, and now we have a thing for Fennec as well. So we'll be able to check our book against it as well. All right, here's our mail again. They're saying the art has been killed. I know a lot of people don't trust that sisterhood, but it seemed to me the Arda always looked out for the less fortunate. Yeah, that one was close. They both look very similar, but it was all a matter of like looking at the leaves. The cold is too much to bear beyond the gap. I was forced to turn back. I would advise against it, but if you are determined to explore Great Gable, be sure to take precautions. Knowing you, I'm sure you'll have a plant up your sleeve that can keep you warm should the weather turn against you. Okay, so explore Great Gable. Let's see, can we go explore there? Here's Great Gable. After several hours of arduous hiking and scrambling, I'm still some distance from the summit. I'm freezing cold and ready to head home. I should do the sensible thing and turn back down the mountain. Unless I have Brimlock. Okay, do I have Brimlock? Those suffering from hypothermia can be rescued by a draught made with leaves from the Brimlock plant. It has a warming effect that protects against the extreme cold. When conditions are just right in the cold of winter, Brimlock produces small yellow flowers. The leaves are waxy and tough. That might be this one. Smooth and waxy. Let's give it a try. All right. Got lucky with that one. I push on, no longer feeling the cold, and I am presently rewarded. Sunset Mooncap. Ooh, very nice. All right. Let's go ahead and keep going. Norman Lee. This plant is cursed. It has brought me nothing but sorrow. Please take it. I want nothing more to do with it. Okay. that looks suspiciously like one we already have. Yeah, that looks very much like our Wandering Bew. Interesting. All right, Simone Green. Hellebore! Always a pleasure, my feline friend. I hope he hasn't been nibbling the plants again. I have a favor to ask. You owe me for the hours I spent digging out the information on those plants. I've been burning the midnight oil again and can use some common trowse, and I know where to find it. According to Grayson's herbology, it grows in abundance on red pike. I'll come by the day after tomorrow to collect it. I have business in Sedberg in the meantime. Here, take this. So, we want to go to Red Pike. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to Red Pike. Here it is. I enjoy a pleasant stroll up the fell. The going is easy, the weather agreeable, and the view is majestic. I don't have to look hard to find what I'm after. Okay. And that was... What did she just ask for? She wanted... Trowse. Okay. So it should be common trowse. I like her too, yeah. She's in Strange Antiquities as well. So she's a character that does carry over between both games, just like the guy who brings us our mail. And then here's Verona, who we also know from that as well. When you work with the occult, I find it pays to uphold a certain image. If you're going to be accused of performing witchcraft anyway, it doesn't hurt to put on a bit of a show every now and then. Let the punters know what I'm capable of, sort of thing. Long story short, I may have threatened to turn a small boy into a toad, and the little bugger called my bluff. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know what little boys are like. I can assure you he deserves to be turned into a toad. Anyway, I think a little display is needed to discourage this sort of behavior in the future. Have you any Shimmerlung? Yeah, you know, she does. So we have her and Simone. I'm wondering if there's anyone else that goes over as well. I want to say there are, but none I'm thinking of off the top of my head. I can go ahead and also pop that in my archive. Shimmerlung. Let's see. The dried stem of Shimmerlung burns very brightly and noisily, letting off a near-blinding white-purple light. Flowers grow wrapped in large ridged leaves. Okay, so that was... Let's see. Where did I put that one? This one here. Yeah, that looks about right. It has a pleasing scent and the leaves have stiff ribs. So yeah, large ridged leaves, that's gotta be it. All right. I would like to have some of that if it's gonna have that kind of effect. Ooh, I would love to mess with those. All right, so we have this one. All right, Irving Harris. Sorry if I'm shouting, I'm a little hard of hearing. I'm looking for a plant that can supposedly help me hear better, but I've forgotten what it's called. I remember it's bright red though. That would be the St. John's poppy. I do remember that one. All right, and there is the end of the day. So far we've taken we've only had one option to have a different option. So we've got that one. All right, here we go. Ooh. Time passed, a year and then another. The book remained hidden, but out of sight did not mean out of mind. The book was what her thoughts settled on when she rested, what she brooded over when she did her chores, what she pictured when she dreamed. I think this one is 13 days. All right. And I like this because the way that they have these different cards, this is something I want to look to see where I can line this up as um, like along a river or something like this. So, and it will match perfectly, just like that. So I want, what is that? N6 right there. I love those little details that you have to look for. All right, the gentle sound of flowing water, the sunlight through the scattered clouds, a reset. We have some plants to collect. Ooh, one looks like a little cotton ball. Those are nice. Let's go ahead, move these over here. Did my wandering view move? It did. Now it's over here. All right, well, let's see where it goes next. Reuben Ward. The Fox button was no help, I'm afraid. The sisterhood still refused to speak openly with me. Not that I have the time to pursue it properly. I'm rushed off my feet this week. There's been a body found up at the Swinside Stone Circle, and apparently it's a grisly one. Don't suppose you've got anything to help keep my lunch down. My stomach never coped too well with the grisly ones. Okay, and he wants Fennec, which we think we have already. Perfect. Oh yeah, that will get frustrating as we go. But since we know it moves, it makes it a little easier. All right, and that one has been confirmed, so let's go ahead and move this one over here now. And there we go. Give these all a little bit of extra room. Move these over. Here we go. All right. All right. David Schaefer. Morning. Verona Green handed me this for you. She seemed in a good mood. I meant to tell you this yesterday, but it slipped my mind. I discovered a plant on a recent trip to Griesdale Forest, just northeast of Rusland. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. I would have brought it back with me if the sisterhood had given me a moment alone, but they seem overly protective lately. Kind regards, Verona Green. Alright, so just northeast of Rusland. Okay, so northeast should be right here. From the moment I step off the road, I can't shake the feeling I'm being watched. Suddenly, I find my way blocked by 3 women wearing green cloaks and holding short elm bows. Nobody may wander freely through the forest by order of the Arda, said the leader of the trio. I turn to walk back, but then again, I have a few tricks up my sleeve. Mellow Glow. So let's give them some Mellow Glow. What is this one? Among other uses for this plant, the most remarkable is that it can allow a person to pass unnoticed. Though not invisible, it is possible to become hidden from sight and memory. The Mellow Glow has sharp thorns that protects it from predators. This is the only one that I have that has thorns. So let's go ahead and try that one. All right. With the help of the Mellow Glow, I walk right past the sisters without them paying me any heed. Chuckling to myself, I collect the plant that Verona talked about and take my leave. Okay, ooh, so another one with some red fruit on it. Interesting. All right. And then I have this one. I can archive that. Bring that in there for now. Now this... Oh, one of my cats just startled themselves. I'm guessing it has something to do with that. Alright, well let's see. Let's see what we have next. Faye Swift. I am afraid. The camphor you gave me is helping me sleep, and I'm very grateful for it. But the visions are as strong as ever. The woman in the jade mask appears in my dreams every night. She screams at me, but I don't know why, and behind her that presence is always there, dark and dreadful. I don't know what to do. The dreams feel like a warning that I don't understand, a mosaic of color that refuses to come into focus. Some part of me wants to stare down that abyss, but I'm afraid. So now this is something that we also know from last time too, is we had someone who was having dreams. Might have been the same character. I'd have to go back and look. But we had the same thing there with somebody having dreams and us having to decide which to give them. So in this case, we can give her Aguria or Candlewood. Let's take a look at both. Aguria is, when burned, incense made from this woody stem can enhance psychic abilities, strengthening the clarity of visions and prophecies. Light blue flowers, like rounded tufts of gentle lamb's wool, characterize this plant. Ooh, yep, this one here. I did say it looked like little cotton balls. Soft pale blue flowers. So I'm going to say this one is likely the Aguria. Put that here. And then the other option is Candlewood. Candlewood produces a red flower that provides a shielding effect, protecting against all manner of afflictions of the mind. The stem grows among tall leaves. Well, I just realized we did have another one with thorns on it. Alright, so produces a red flower that grows among tall leaves. That's a fruit, I think. Yeah, it's got fruit. So, long, thin stems grow among tall leaves. Not quite, I don't think. Oh. Ends of thin stems. Bright red flowers. Okay, so we do have red flower. Long, thin stems. I'm going to say that's probably it. So this is probably the Candlewood. Oops. Alright, so we have Candlewood there, and we have Aguria here. So Candlewood is going to provide a shielding effect. Well, Aguria will enhance psychic abilities. So I'm going to shield this time, I think. So let's shield using the candlewood. All right, and that one was correct. So let's go ahead, change that to yellow so that we know that is indeed the right one. And move that over here. Margaret Elspeth. We don't come to Undermere often, but I heard about your shop and I said to Francis we simply must pay a visit. It's a wonderful breath of life in an otherwise dreary town. I'm the green-fingered one, and it's not really his cup of tea, but I persuaded him the trip would do him good, and besides, he'll be wanting to take a boat out on the lake. Shame about this awful weather, though. You must come to Siserly. We have a small library with some books on plants that my grandfather acquired many years ago. I'm sure they'll be of interest to a horticulturist such as yourself. Okay. Well, hey, Firewolf, how are you? Welcome in. I am having fun. How's your day going so far? And subscribed for 2 months. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. Let's see, I've got to have a heart one, right? I'm gonna give you sparkles. Thank you. How's work going today? All right, so we can go to Sizer Castle with Lord and Lady Elspeth. Let's go ahead and take a look then. Let's see, where is Sizer Castle? Let's see. Ah, here we go, right here. Let's go ahead and go visit. All right. Oh, the signal. You're at the bad signal store. Well, at least the day is going pretty good so far. So at Sizer Castle, I'm greeted enthusiastically by Lady Elspeth herself. She is very talkative and has many questions on horticulture that I do my best to answer as she takes me on a tour of the gardens. Oh, you must take a sample of this back with you, she exclaims, pointing out a plant that I don't recognize. But before I can stop to take a look, she's already whisked me on to the next. And this one too, she says. I'm quite exhausted by the time we make it to the library, and I don't have the time to make as thorough a study as I would like. Nevertheless, I'm able to find an interesting entry that I note down. Don't forget these, Lady Elspeth cries as I make to leave. She thrusts the plants from the gardens into my hands, and I thank her warmly. So we have 2 plants and a book entry. So let's see what we wound up with. Okay, so... Oh. It looks like we both have the entry and the plant. Oh, but that could be this one too. So, okay, so we have Fever Kiss. And then 2 new plants. And now, this one here and that one there looks similar. So they both could have been the Fever Kiss. So, we'll have to see. Alright. Francis Aberton. I'm looking for a plant with yellow flowers and coarse leaves. It helps with my heartburn. Okay, yellow flowers and coarse leaves. I think this one maybe? Yeah, I think, not this one. Gandhi root is the one we want for this, right? Aid with digestive problems. So yes, that is exactly what we want. All right. Let's go ahead and close this up. this away. We've gone here. Now, I do like in this one that my archive actually lets me put everything in there and I don't have to like keep opening and closing different drawers to put it in the archive. All right, Selena Scott. They're saying Blackcomb is haunted now. Bradley Miller told me he saw the ghost of a huge deer, antlers and all, but then Bradley Miller also says he can talk to squirrels. Either way, there's something evil in those hills, and I'm not taking any chances. Awful what happened to that poor young man up at Swinside. I've come for some stinking mount cap. Okay. Stinking mount cap. Oh. Oh, okay, so she says stinking, but we say sunset. Is that okay? So the sunset mount cap is a type of fungus with dome cap, sometimes called stinking mount cap, as a result of its unpleasant odor. It's thought to deter unwanted souls and spirits from entering the home and is often placed in doorways. It's mildly toxic to humans and should not be eaten. Okay, so I'm going to think maybe it's this one because this has flies gathering around it. It smells strongly like soured milk. Okay. I mean, that would seem to be the right one if you ask me. All right. Ooh, I definitely wouldn't want that hanging around though. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and then we are an ant, so perfect time to pause. So right at the end of the day, we can go ahead and pause right there. So, I'm enjoying this one so far. This has been a lot of fun. Ooh, yeah, the corpse plant that yeah. Although I don't think that's a fungus. That one I believe is actually a flower. So let's see. We have that. We have two different spots where we could divert course. Yeah, it's a huge flowering plant. Okay, I was right then. So, yeah. This is going well so far, though. We definitely, we're on the right track. We have the first 4 days in the books, so that's good. And then in about a minute when we come back from ads, we'll go ahead and continue on with day 5. So what do you think? Would you want to run a shop like this? I think for myself, I would. I've said before I don't have much of a green thumb, but I do really enjoy plants. So actually running a shop like this would be a lot of fun, especially because I am really interested in things that are like occult or when it comes to plants. Um, Poisonous plants are actually something that's always been very interesting to me. I know that, there's people who are like, who they tell in Garis, they're like, does it bother you that, your wife is interested in poisons? And it's like, no, no, I don't have to worry about her trying to poison me. But yeah, that is something I've always really enjoyed. Especially that, they say the difference between a poison and a medicine is the dose. And, that's so true. And that's a fascinating concept on its own. All right, and here we are. We are back. So let's go ahead. We'll end our day. Right. All right. Let's see. And then we have our wandering view over here. So let's see if it moves overnight. All right. Here we go. She lives alone in the castle to the northwest of the abbey. She buried her husband 3 miles to the east, where the Everhart grows. Okay, so that's our new clue. At 15, her mother, strong, dependable, and loving, was struck down by typhoid. The girl drew inward as her father turned to drink. Okay. So this girl who found this book, she is feeling very alone because she lost her mother and her father has started drinking. All right. She lives alone in the castle to the northwest of the abbey. Okay, so where is okay, here's the abbey. Northwest of the abbey, so here's the castle. She buried her husband 3 miles to the east, where the Everhart grows. So 1, 2, 3 miles. Okay. A dead tree, its bark cracked and blackened by fire, stands alone on the hillside. Off to one side, a patch of flowers grows on a low mound. Okay. Looks kind of similar to an orchid. All right, let's go ahead and pop this one over here. Pet hellebore and bring in our first customer. So Faye Swift is back again. I must thank you. Last night, for the first time in weeks, my mind was calmed. I'm no longer tormented by the visions of the woman in the jade mask and that terrible monster. Now I'm wondering if you have some worry less to keep my over-anxious thoughts at bay. All right, so worry less. Oh. Worry less. All right. Worry less is an aptly named plant. Inhaling the smell of the flowers is said to ease symptoms of anxiety. All right. Looks very similar to both of these, so let's take a look. Small yellow berries. Small red berries. Okay. Let's see, what else might look similar? Okay, those don't have flowers. We are looking for something that has short leaves like that. Possibly cream-colored flowers. They smell wonderful. Let's see. Now they do branch off like that. I'm gonna give it a try. Oh, damn. That was a good guess. Alright, so hop heart. Alright, I'm pretty impressed that I got that one. The only reason why I thought that might be it is because of this spot right here where you can see the leaves stem off of. So it actually did have that spot where it stops. Yeah, that's the only reason I got that, because I would have thought these two here, except for the fact that it didn't have a flower. And if I just went by the scent, I wouldn't have gotten that either, because they smell wonderful. It doesn't really say that it's going to ease anxiety. It was literally only looking at this point here where the leaf stems off. So yeah, that's one of those interesting things too. I love the way that the plants, you really have to like pay very close attention to all of the clues. And we see that in here just as much as we did in Strange Antiquities. I met a strange man on the road to Sedberg not 2 days ago. Stranger still, he asked after you. He said he had something for you. Don't ask me what. I told him where to find you, but he looked stricken when I mentioned Undermere. Said he doesn't come near towns at all if he can help it. He was headed west, at least I think he was. He said he was looking for the Winster Spring. I'll write this down for you. Anyway, that's my news. Did you manage to find the plant I wanted? And she wanted common trowse, which was this one here. All right, so yes, we did get that one. Yeah, it is a lot of attention to details. And if you're not very careful with that, just like we saw in Strange Antiquities, um, you're going to wind up losing track of where you're at very quickly. Because you really need all those little details to come together to figure it out. All right, so let's see. Man wanted to meet you. He was headed west from Sedberg, possibly near to the source of the river Winster. So, okay, here's River Winster. He was heading west from Sedberg. Okay, where is Sedberg? Okay, here's Sedberg. He was headed west from Sedberg, possibly near to the source of the river Winster, so probably about here. The hermit's camp is easy to find, nestled between two boulders above the spring. The cooled remains of a fire ringed by stones is the only immediate sign that anyone was here. I call out, but there is no reply. The hermit isn't here. A more thorough search of the campsite yields something interesting. Tucked off to one side, I discover some broken pieces of wood arranged on the floor. Down to right 3. Okay, so I'm guessing from here, he was here, wants us to go south 2 and east 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So here. Okay, south 2, east 3. I'm gonna guess here. The camp at the Winster Spring has led me to another camp of sorts where I'm greeted by an eccentric man. Oh, yes, yes, ho, 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 the man says. You must take this, take it, take it. At his insistence, I receive the looking glass that he thrusts into my hands. He places an envelope delicately on top. Oh, ho, it's no use to me anymore. Oh, ho, no use. Don't forget the red, the red, the red, the red. Oh, ho, Abony. I'm sure that he's quite mad. Okay, so we have this. Interesting. All right. It is said that the red ebony plant has the property of uncovering that which is hidden or secret. I have perfected a device designed to use extract from the plant in concert with a viewing window in order to permit the user to see magics otherwise invisible to the naked eye. Okay, so we need red ebony to fuel this. Let's see, do we have red ebony? We do not yet have red ebony, so we can't do anything with this yet. But, okay, this is going to be important. Conrad Stanway. I'm not long for this world, and I've decided that I want to be buried in a grave decorated with the rare and beautiful camellia, like a drear huntsman with their geranthium-covered tombs. So we want camellia. Let's see. Camellia, a rare plant that is believed to help the dead find peace in the afterlife. Those who can afford it place wreaths made from it at the graves of their loved ones. Camellia flowers almost always contain 6 petals. Finding a 7-petaled flower is considered to bring good fortune. Okay, so let's see. This one possibly, because I see the petals with the things popping out of it. Let's see. The flowers are soft purple with a sweet scent. See, there definitely are 6 petals. They have the proper thing here. I'm going to say this is likely it. I would want those on my grave if I were dying. Then again, I intend to be cremated, so it wouldn't do much good, but still. All right, nice. Ooh, here's the woman in the jade mask. Your reputation is growing, horticulturalist. I hear you are the person to come to for plants that are difficult to acquire. My head feels like it's being torn in two lately. She wants hop heart. Yes, purple is always awesome. Alright, let's see. Hop heart. Inhaling smoke from the burning dried leaves of this plant can provide pain relief. Firm leaves grow up the stems, leading to blue flowers. Okay, let's see. Could possibly be either of these. Let's try this one first. Dark blue flowers, smells like rhubarb. Okay. How about this one? Blue flowers, stiff leaves. So firm leaves grow up the stems, leading to blue flowers. Okay, so that looks similar. I'm gonna say it's this one. Perfect. Not bad. Let's go ahead and start moving some of these this way. All right. All right, Verona is back. Reuben Ward has called on my unique expertise to aid in his investigation at the Swinside Stone Circle. Unique expertise. Ha! He knows how to flatter an old woman when he wants something. I thought about telling him to go suck an egg. Give it a good long thought, actually, but my curiosity has got the better of me. He must be desperate if he's coming to me, and I'll bet they found something juicy down there. Signs of a ritual sacrifice, maybe. I could do with some witch fig to take with me. Always comes in useful. I love Verona. I absolutely love her. Oh, right? It does make more sense. Alright, witch fig. A plant that is said to have many uses, including easing the symptoms of infection, soaking up moisture, and detecting the presence of certain compounds. It is also well liked by butterflies. It has similar leaves to the fever kiss plant, which it's often confused with. Okay, so we'll have to look at fever kiss. Does have some kind of... Okay, so it does have some kind of fruit. Oh, wrong one. I want to go back here to fever kiss. Okay. Red berries provide an energy boost that lasts several hours. Okay, I'm going to say this is probably the fever kiss. Put this in here. So then, if it has the same kind of things there, I'm going to assume that witch fig is probably this one, because the leaves are the same. Small yellow berries. Let's give it a try. Beautiful. All right. Jacob's Worth. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost positive then that that's got to be the fever kiss because that that fits the description. All right. Let's go ahead. Uh, this one again. I never see anybody in your shop. It's a daily surprise to me that you're still in business. Believe me, I wouldn't be in here if I didn't have to be, especially with that damn cat still here. I need some bishop's parasol for a work-related matter. I should have made you itchy. I do not like you at all. A mushroom found in dark, damp places. He is still an ass, indeed. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we definitely are. All right. So it is a mushroom. Draws light in, enveloping its surroundings in darkness. The gills on the underside seep a milky fluid that can be consumed as a treatment for stomach pains. Okay. Gills on the underside. I'm thinking it's this one or the red one. Okay. A viscous white liquid could be seen oozing from the underside. Okay, so yeah, that's this one then. Yeah, I am more than happy to send him to whichever side will take him. All right, there we go. End the day. The old man of Coniston looks out across the lake with blind eyes. His mind wanders with the current, floating gently southwards to the fork. Okay, interesting. Not long after the girl left home, her father wept, but he was so caught up in his own grief that he let her go and did not look for her. All right, day 6, Wednesday. All right, so I thought 13 days, but we're not quite at the halfway mark yet. So I'm going to guess probably more like 15 to 17 like the previous or the other game. All right, let's take a look then. Old Man of Coniston looks out across the lake. Okay. Oh, here we have Coniston Water. Here's the old man, Coniston Water. Um, Old man looks out across the lake with blind eyes. His mind wanders the current, floating gently southward to the fork. Okay, so here is the fork. So I'm going to guess this is where we need to be. All right, perfect. The heavens open up as I reach the fork. It takes a moment to pause and listen to the sound of the water on water. I'm soaked through, but my spirits are high as I return home. I am not empty handed. 2 new plants today. The Witch Discord thing. Ooh, they're both purple plants too. Yeah. Yes, I will definitely have the pretty purple plants. All right. Eleanor Bramer. The insects make the salt marshes uninhabitable. People stay away and not much grows there, but I know where to find an unusual plant. I've drawn you a map in case you decide it's worth your time. Okay. Um, right, we can never have enough purple. As for the Discord, um, so the level seems to be like if I have server boosts, and I had gotten a few server boosts just to try to unlock things, but it turns out that you need to get them every month. So that that's a lot. So um, and probably wind up sticking just with what we've got for now. All right, so in this case, we're looking at the water, so it looks like we're somewhere on this side. We want the river to come up, so I'm guessing, okay, yeah, so right here. Um, if I put this, I want this to come up here. That seems to be in the right spot. So right here, it's either going to be F1 or F2. Let me just get this a little better. F1 or F2. Okay, I think F1. Okay, so not there. All right. I've got to wait for my wheel to explore to go up again. So I'm just going to make a note. It was not F1. Might be F2, yeah. All right, Bethany Coleman. Thank you for your help and discretion earlier. The Sisterhood is grateful, but the news that the Arda was poisoned with gilded dendra has everyone worried. The temporary acting Arda is panicking. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but one of the sisters has gone missing, a runaway called Thea that we took in a few years ago. We're trying to find her, and Sister Charlotte remembered that the Jacob's Worth plant is said to help locate people. So, Jacob's Worth. Alright, people tend to be drawn to the unusual flowers of the Jacob's Worth, but it's the leaves that have the most interesting properties. It's said they will point the way toward any person you wish to locate, and have been used successfully to find many a lost wonder out on the fells. Okay, so that looks similar to the leaves. Leaves seem to have a mind of its own. All right. Oh, these over just a little. All right, I have that again. So let's try F2. There we go. The air is thick with flying, biting insects, an unbearable plague. I fight against it for mere moments before I'm overwhelmed. If only I had some blue winter to keep them at bay. Okay, also known as winter boar. Winter boar, also known as blue aloe. Okay, so this one has many names. Blue aloe or blue winter after its cool blue-gray flowers. The winter boar is a hardy plant often found growing in extreme environments. The rubbery leaves make it an effective insect repellent when applied to the skin. Okay, so blue-gray flowers. This one maybe? It does seem blue-gray. That one could be too, though. Unpleasant scent. Doesn't have the right thing. Dark blue petals. No. Okay. Oh, this one. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Gray blue with an orange center. There we go. On the bright side, I did wonder what happens if you pick the wrong square. Yeah, it does send you back just as that there is nothing there. And if you collect enough of those, you do get that, the rising dread pops up again on you. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, that's a pretty looking one. Dangerous looking one, but also very pretty. Alright, Arthur Cook. It's my wife's birthday and I wanted to get her something special. There was a plant that she used to love as a child but hasn't been able to find in any years. It's sort of a bulb-like and has a strong smell to it, but strong in a good way. Oh, and the flower is like lots of little flowers. Okay, I had one like that over here, didn't I? This one. Usually when someone comes in only giving you like a description of the flower, it's something you've already used. We've had our eye on you for some time now. Join us. Praise the Dendru. Okay, so here's another one that this is going to become an important spot as well. What he winds up doing and saying to you winds up altering your path as well. Right, not creepy at all. Just, you know, people randomly wind up creeping on you, seeing what you're doing, watching, taking notes. All right. I represent a group called the Seeds of Redemption. Your expertise would be very useful to us, and we have much to offer in return. Let us know we can count on you by leaving a single St. John's poppy flower outside the Sadgill Church before Friday. Do not make the mistake of ignoring us. Praise the Dendru. So here is our option again. So we can either leave the St. Poppy or ignore it. For this playthrough, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give them the St. Poppy or the St. John's Poppy and see what they say. And I'm going to mark this down that I'm giving them that one. So St. John's Poppy, I do want to go ahead and I want to see what that one is. Do I have that to even give? Oh, St. John's Poppy, I do have that. Was it this one? Okay. All right. So before Friday, it's Wednesday now. Something tells me they're the ones that poison the other person. I would not be surprised if they had something to do with the poisoning. Let's go ahead then and Sadgill Church. Let's go ahead and do that right away. So Sadgill Church. Here's Undermere. Here's Sadgill. So let's go here. The church is hard to find in the small hamlet of Sadgill. This must be the place. So we'll leave that here. And we'll let them know that, all right, we heard you. We heard you. We'll at least pretend like we're going to play along. All right. Here's Verona again. I have returned from Swinside. I must admit I was hoping for more to go on, but there were certainly signs of a ritual having been performed at the stone circle. And the poor victim, well, the less said about him the better. Reuben had it right, though. Grisly. I have the beginnings of a theory, but I'd like to run some tests on a sample of the gilded dendra. Alright, so we need a gilded dendra. Do not drink the sap of this plant. The lips and veins will turn black as the blood succumbs to dendra's miasma, a sure and painful way to die. The poison is so potent that even touching the leaves of the plant can be painful. Alright, so we need something that has kind of like curved, droopy leaves. This one has that. Yeah, everything else over there were those. So let's look at this one. The dark blue petals are soft and feathery to the touch. My fingers ache from handling this plant. Okay, so yeah. It's painful to touch it, so this has got to be it. Beautiful plant, though. Alright. So we now know, too, that it was gilded dendra that had to have been used to poison the Arda because her her lips, her tongue, her eyes, her hair, her blood, they all turned black. So it was poisoning from that particular plant. Anne Wood, my aunt died 2 weeks ago and I inherited her house. I've been sifting through her possessions and last night I found something unusual. In a forgotten corner of the attic, I found a coffin. More unusual still, it was bound by strong vines, so strong that I could not cut through them. I immediately thought of your shop. You know about plants, right? So we need some royal gentian. Okay, so we do have an entry on that. Sometimes called Everheart, the pink flowers of the royal gentian are made up of two large kidney-shaped petals. So this one right here. One of the few known ways to release the bind of swift snare is to apply a paste created from the sap of royal gentian. Pink flowers, yep, and it is the two kidney-shaped, this one here. So that is right there. Okay, and then royal gentian is also known as Everheart. So I want to do something with this one. Actually, I'm going to turn this one pink. And Everheart. So this one now, I will know that it has two different names. All right. End our day and see how this goes. 5 miles south of the tallest one. Oh, 5 miles south of the tallest but one. It grows in peace in the midday sun. Okay, before she left, she returned to her hiding place and carefully retrieved the book, her excitement building as she did. She couldn't articulate what was so alluring to her about the book, but by now it had become an obsession. Alright, Thursday, day 7. Alright, take a look here. What do we have? 5 miles south of the tallest but one. So I'm going to say it's got to be these mountains here. So let's see. Tallest mountains. Let me write these down. I have, let's see, Great Gable is 899 meters. Red Pike is 826. Scafell is 978. Bowfell is 902. Let's see, Crinkle Crag is 859. Okay, is anything else in the 800s? I see Ilgil Head is in the 600s. The Old Man is 803, so that's out. Sitalin is 692. So 5 miles south of the tallest but one. So the second tallest would be Bowfell? 5 miles south. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles south. So 5 squares down from the second tallest. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'm wondering if it's maybe one lower, but that is the 5th one down. So let's see this. Alright. So even though it was in the forest, it's still there. The forest here is lush and vibrant. The bird song feels enchanting like the call of sirens. Nestled in the undergrowth, under the shade of a birch tree, a plant grows. Ooh. Ooh, what is that one? Ooh. That's pretty cool. All right. Anne Wood. Oh, she's back again. Okay. I was able to strip away the swift snare's vines and lift the lid with more than a little trepidation, I'll admit. Yeah, it is an odd looking one. To my relief, but also disappointment, the coffin contained nothing but dust. At least that's what I thought at first, but when I looked closer, I discovered a golden amulet embedded in the gray ash. Wonder if that's what she's wearing. On the back of the amulet is an inscription that says, "With Solomon's scepter, I awake." Solomon's scepter, that's a plant, right? Let's see. Solomon's scepter, also known alarmingly as Hell's Gate and sometimes Solomon's scorn, the flowers of the plant are commonly used in witchcraft and other satanic practices. Many sweet smelling flowers grow along the stem. So it could be this one or this one. It looks like they're more jagged, so I think let's try this one first. Light purple flowers, the smell is alluring. Okay, they are sweet smelling and they do have the right look. So let's go ahead. All right. I'm going to collect that one, and then I want to also go ahead. I want to change this one to pink as well, since this one has a second name, which is Solomon's Scepter or Scorn or Hell's Gate. There we go. So now those, if I'm looking for things that go by different names, I'll know to look there. Yeah, this one is rather odd looking. I wonder if I'd go. Well, let's see. All right. I heard a shepherd got killed by some wild beast up near the Swinside Stone Circle. They say it slaughtered half his flock as well. People around here don't seem too bothered, but it's got them panicked down Foxfield Way. Alright, let's see. Kentmere Eye. Kentmere Eye. Is that... Okay, this is where this comes in now. So I want to look at Kentmere. Here's Kentmere. So if I put this on here, and then if I click on the eye, should be right here. From Kentmere, I follow the bearing of the eye and end up in a small forest north of Kendal. The woods are thick with briar and brambles, but amongst the tangled undergrowth, a type of flower is flourishing. Oh, okay. So now we have this one. And, oh, now that could be the Fever Kiss as well, because that does look quite a bit like that other one, doesn't it? Okay. Where's... Oh, my Wandering Bew is still over here. It hasn't gone anywhere else. Alright. Let's see. Alright. Verona is back. Well, this is getting interesting. I was able to confirm that it was indeed gilded dendra that was used at the Swinside ritual site. That is a worrying sign. It's a plant that is used in several of the darker incantations. And it can't be a coincidence that the very same plant was used to poison the Arda. There must be a connection between this other murder and the Sisterhood. I need some mental clarity to think it through some more. Some maiden sorrow would help a lot. Okay, this one I can archive. Maiden sorrow. Now, we did hear something about the sisterhood that should have us kind of drawing a line here. So they had someone who recently disappeared that had been taken in by them. Maiden sorrow. Rubbing the soft leaves of this plant between one's finger and thumb is said to help prevent the mind from wandering, providing a focusing effect. Oh goodness, those of us with ADHD would love this plant, wouldn't we? The flowers of this plant droop mournfully, but it's the thorns along its stem that are thought to lend its name. So maybe this one? Single pink flower that smells pleasant. Okay, is there one that has multiple flowers that are thorn? That one doesn't droop though. Right? Absolutely. I mean, if it's something to just, I mean, if you could just rub it and like just like the smell helps you stay focused. Oh my goodness. Now this one also has thorns, but I'm going to say it's probably this one. All right. Red ebony. Ooh. Aha, we were looking for red ebony for this. Do I have red ebony now that I have the thing here? The plant is said to uncover that which is hidden, including buried treasure and secret writings. The red ebony is extremely rare and not well studied. Blood has been spilled over this plant, which is where the red part of the name comes from. Since it's, confusingly, the large flower is in fact blue. Okay. Blue flower. That matches. Is this what I'm looking for? Yeah, that picture. Ooh, maybe. Maybe. Let's see. There we go. That is our red ebony. Nice. The one thing I've been wondering is, and this is for both games, how do these people know what these things are called, and we, as the horticulturalists, don't? Um, Good question. I would say, well, to some extent, we inherited the shop from someone else. So in both games, we aren't like the the lead um, person on these. In this one, we're picking up from where our relative left off and learning it because the shop was left to us. In the other one, we were the apprentice and they were learning. Um, so the reason why they know things that we wouldn't are because we're still learning and they have like specific knowledge to one or two of the specific items that yeah, we're an apprentice in both. So other people might not be like um, extremely knowledgeable figures on these things, but they might know what one thing is that they're looking for, or they might know that they have access to a certain plant, but not necessarily what it does. So it's kind of like we're collecting all that knowledge that a handful of people have so that we can kind of help everyone. But now we do have that, and that is awesome because now we can figure out whatever this is. And this, oh, yes, look at that. It works. So it's said that the red ebony plant has the property of uncovering that which is secret or hidden. I perfected a device designed to use the extract from the plant in concert with a viewing window in order to permit the user to see magics otherwise invisible to the naked eye. And here it has on here, it works. So this we can leave in here maybe. Nothing on that. Those glow. Ooh, what if our on here, what do we see? Okay, Tomb of the Hunter. Elderfinium grows here. Ooh, okay, so we can check that one out right away. The Great Oak. Okay, so we have a few. Let's go ahead and do Elderfinium. So it's one down and two over from here. All right, whoever wrote on my map has been very helpful. I would never have thought to come out to this desolate place in search of plant life, but it quickly yields exacting results. So this is Elderfinium. And like I've done before, I will label it with purple, even though I'm certain that this is the right one. Just because I don't have confirmation yet. So there's that. And there's my will to explore for right now, but I can definitely check out the others. All right, Reuben Ward. We do have ads starting soon. It looks like I'm going to have to make a trip to Blackcomb. Verona noticed something at the Swinside site that has me pondering. A piece of slate with a symbol drawn on it in black. Can't think of anywhere else around here where you'd get that slate from. That and Bradley Miller keeps insisting that he saw something up at Blackcomb. But then again, Bradley Miller does claim that Fairy stole his wheelbarrow. If I'm going to spend a night out in the hills, I want to take some eyebright with me. I wouldn't want anyone sneaking up on me in the dark. Okay, so eyebright. Eyebright. Take care not to touch its brightly colored thorns. Okay, so we did have some with thorns. That's pretty brightly colored. Okay, we do have ads starting, so let's go ahead and pause while there are ads. So they'll do no lasting damage, but they contain a small amount of venom. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. So, might be venomous. Interesting. So yeah, so we've got this one to follow up on as well now. So let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and pause for now while ads are running. So go ahead, stop, get yourself a glass of water, get up and stretch, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need to do while ads are on, and then we'll come back in a short while.
Sit the fuck up straight!
And there's Angaris redeeming posture checks. So yes, definitely sit up straight. And yes, make sure you take your potty
You
breaks.
mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
Absolutely. Hydrate yourself. You are thirsty. Got some coffee here with me, but I probably should be drinking more water as well. I love the music in these games. Not only do the background sounds really have a calming effect. I mean, like the sound of the rain and the thunder, it's really nice. But the soundtrack for each of these games is also really nice. Just kind of calm and mellow. You can just kind of like chill to it. Yeah, it's just a very relaxing soundtrack. Although it's also very melancholy, which really goes along with the vibe of the game as well. Um, because it's like that just slow haunting sound. It's not upbeat or anything, and it is mellow, but it's also it's melancholy. It has like that sad, somber tone to it as well, which really fits the game as well with the kind of weather they have here, um, as well as just the entire storyline as well. All right, so Eyebright. So we are back from our ads. Take care not to touch its brightly colored thorns. They'll do no lasting damage, but they contain a small amount of venom that will cause severe pain for several days after. The plant only grows in the south of in warmer climates where they call it Lath after a long dead king, known to improve eyesight at night, even in the darkest places. So let's see. These thorns look menacing. I'm steering well clear of them. Okay, let's give that a try. And indeed, that is our Eyebright. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll pet Hellebore and Forest Bear. Does it ever stop raining in Undermere? You have a reputation in town for knowing about unusual plants. I need some gray sandfire. No one around here seems to even know what I'm talking about, but I hope I'm in the right place now. I swear, baby is worse than a cat. He just tried to take a bite out of the loo roll. Oh, no. All right. Oh gosh, I'm just picturing the baby trying to like nom on it. Sandfire has a tough outer bark, which has many useful properties. Some chew it as a form of dental hygiene, taking care not to swallow it as it can cause unpleasant stomach distress. Speaking of chewing on things that you shouldn't, the flame-like tendrils give off a smoky scent, adding to the impression of a roaring fire. Okay, let's see. This one, I think. Smells faintly of wood smoke. Feels like rough glass paper. I mean, that does look like flaming tendrils, so let's try it. All right. And there is the end of the day. At least when the cat unrolls, you can roll it back up, right? You know, of all the cats we've had, Baragon was the only one who liked to get into the toilet paper. And even that, it was a brief while he was a kitten, and we wound up, um, we just kind of would tuck it inside the roll, and he stopped pretty quickly. But none of our other cats were really going after toilet paper or anything. All right, here's our next card. Loic to Ilgil Head, Foxfield to Crinkle Crag. Okay. At first she felt free, but it wasn't long before the reality of her situation began to take its toll. She stole food when she was hungry and slept in makeshift shelters, not knowing where she was going, not caring. Eventually, she made her way to Greasdale Forest. Where the Sisterhood is. It looks like one more day will put us at our halfway point. So we are at day 8. All right. Let's look at our map here. Loic to Ilgil Head. So I remember that was up here. And Crinkle Crag was also... Okay, here's Crinkle Crag. Here's Loic down here. Ilgil Head is right here. And where is Foxfield then? Here's Foxfield. Okay, so Foxfield to Crinkle Crag. If I make a diagonal here. All right, and Loic to Ilgil Head. All right. nice if I could like, I can use a piece of paper, but that's not fully, oh, I have this though. All right, Ilgil and Loic, if I do that, and then put that there and there. Foxfield and Crinkle Crag is there. It winds up, this seems to be where they center. So let's try this spot right here. All right. Fortunately, I had something clear that I could put up there. The magpie sees me before I see it. I don't know how long it's been watching me, but I can tell that it's interested in my movements. A strange sensation creeps over me, and I feel an urge to leave this place, but not before collecting a plant for further study. One for sorrow. Turning to leave, I see another magpie and another plant I've never seen before. Two for joy. That's something there's a poem about magpies. Um, of magpie meaning, because I remember when I was younger, I read a book called Seven is for Secrets, and that was the first time I've heard of it. So yeah, looking that up, one for sorrow, two for joy, three for a girl, four for a boy, five for silver, six for gold, seven for a secret never to be told. And the possibility for extended meanings, it says 8 for a wish, 9 for a kiss, 10 for surprise, 11 for health, 12 for wealth, 13 beware. So, yeah, so there, he saw one, so one for sorrow, and then two for joy, and that's how that went. And then, yeah, so if you're expecting a baby, if you see three, you're going to have a girl, four will be a boy. And then five and six will bring you wealth and riches. And then seven is for the secret, which I like that poem. Ooh, more purple flowers. Look at those. All right, let's bring these over here. And let's give Hellebore a little pet. This baby is a menace. I think he used it as a distraction. He just grabbed my phone. Oh, you are wise to pledge your support to the seeds of redemption. Together we are stronger. Now that the Dendru has awoken, the redemption is upon us. It is a glorious time. Our deeds will be remembered for 1,000 years. Those of us that have put our faith in the woken Dendru will be saved, but we must act swiftly. We'll be in touch soon. Praise the Dendru. All right, so here's our cult. So let's get this again. The baby's a menace. I think he used the literal as a distraction. He just grabbed my phone, put it to his ear, saying hi as he walks around. That is adorable, JJ. That is so cute. All right, so Enos Alford. He is going to be trouble. He is adorably cheeky. I bet. I bet. He sounds like such a sweetheart. All right. So, like we learned last time, getting ourselves involved with a cult is really not the best idea. So, yeah. Oh, and here is our unknown again with her jade mask. My mind is clouded, dark. I see it and it sees me. All of me. Elderfinium is the answer. It must be. I will not forget those who helped me, horticulturalist. And then here is our Elderfinium. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and change that to yellow since it is now confirmed. All right, so let's see. Grace Enright. My mom was into horticulture. I found this among her things. Golden light, that's a plant, right? I'm not sure what long Meg can mean, though. Is that another plant? Anyway, I thought you should have it just in case it's any help. She loved this shop. All right. Golden Light. Start at Long Meg. S2 or S3E2. Long Meg. All right, if you see Long Meg, let me know. Hmm. Okay. I am not seeing that on here. Okay, that's possibly a clue that's going to come later. So let's go ahead and check this out then. Anne Wood. Help me. The amulet. I can't remove it and it's drawing the life from me. Oh, yeah. She was much younger before. Long Verikund. All right. Let's see. Sometimes called witch's remedy, the long veracund is believed to lift curses. Small leaves grow in pairs along the stem. So, possibly this one. The flowers have a delicate scent, purple turning to pink at the ends. Small leaves grow in pairs along the stem. Could be that one. Small, delicate flowers. Small leaves, delicate flowers. Let's try this one. No. Okay, so I probably was right that that was the other one. So all of these, there's our wandering bew moving again. It's one that we have not yet seen. So thin leaves and small purple red berries. They do, well, they don't all grow in pairs, so it can't be that one. Does this one grow in pairs? Okay, no. So let's try this one then. All right. Oh, and she immediately goes back to being young again. I can feel it working. Thank you. Yeah, let's next time maybe don't put on jewelry that you know, don't know what it does. Okay. Amos Duncan. It's good to see you, my friend. I've been on the road so long, I started to wonder if you were on the other end of the letters I've been sending. I'm back in town for a few days, though, and I wanted to give you these before I forgot. I found them in the pocket of an overcoat that belonged to your uncle. Ooh, 4 new notes. Beautiful. Ooh, okay. Ooh, okay. I had one of those. Hold on. Let's put you away. 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 And put you away. And put you away. Let's see. All right, so I have 5 symbols there. I have 5 here. Okay. All right, so I need to match them up the way they're torn, I think. That one fits there. Oh, hello, miss. Hello. I have a kitty. All right, so let's see. These two definitely go together. Yes, you can see that they definitely match up. This one I think goes here. Yeah, that matches there. Yes. Hello, Tempest. Yeah, Kitty's standing right in front of me now. Hi. It's funny. She comes into bed and she likes to curl up between me and Angaris. And if I don't immediately turn over so that I can cuddle her, she sits there and she'll just stick her face in my mew, mew, mew until I start petting her. Ooh, those two go together here. So, is it this? There we go. Try the... Okay, but upside down? Let's see, or mirrored from what's on the table. I think it's in this order, so let's try that. There's that one. There's that one. And I've got her now at my feet trying to pounce on me. There's that one. That one. And then... There we go. All right, so now we have a secret drawer. Let's go ahead. I can archive these. Yeah, I realized they were buttons earlier because I was pushing on them. So yeah, that's how I knew. Okay, oh, okay, so that's one of those, and that's in one of these. Okay, so I can close this back up. A Briar's disc, often called a smuggler's disc, is a simple device that can be used to send coded messages. The location of a cached cargo, for example. The principle is cunningly straightforward, but the code is undecipherable to prying eyes. Both parties must be in possession of a disc of identical size with the same symbols etched around its edge, and a map. So here's our Briar's disc. To encode a location, you would then place the disc over some named point on the map nearby and note whichever symbol is pointing to the location. It may be necessary to string multiple symbols together, but you can use this method to reach any other point on the map as required. Okay, so there's that, and this, we already knew how to use that. There's this here, 1813 Gosforth. Okay. Robert Barrow's Medicinal Herbology, Blackhall Road, Kendall. All right. Let's go to Kendall. Yeah. Where is Kendall? Here it is. Yeah. I find the medicinal herbology shop off Blackhall Road. I know you, says the man behind the counter. Robert Barrow, presumably. You're the owner of Strange Horticulture. 2 hours later, after a lengthy and engaging discussion covering a variety of botanical subjects, we decide on a trade. Turns out, Robert is a collector of unusual fungi, and I have just the thing for him. Copper Caledonian. All right, so we also know that this is going to be one of our things over here. Let's see, Copper Caledonian. This plant has a rejuvenation effect, but most who have tried to benefit from its properties have come to realize that it's a curse, not a blessing. Though you may appear younger, you will quickly become more frail and brittle. The red patches that are often seen growing on it are in fact a type of fungus themselves and not part of the plant. So that should be this one. Okay, that should be this. Beautiful. So, and then he's given us 3 plants in return. Ooh, interesting. Interesting looking plants for sure. Let's go ahead, we'll put those over here and bring this over here. All right, so let's take a look now. Close this up, archive that. 1813 Gosforth. I'm thinking I need to explore Gosforth next. Simone. I have no idea what any of this means, but it seemed like something you might find interesting. I found it while clearing out the nook off the east wing. She found a letter of some sort. Balak's elixir, made from crushed petals of 3 distinctive plants. Balak's elixir is a potent aid to memory, allowing those who drink it to ensure that they retain important information that they'll never forget. Care must be taken after drinking, however, to avoid the fate of Greygale, who slowly lost her mind after taking Balak's and stared at a blank wall for 12 hours. Alright, so if we take a look, this one definitely looks like our 3rd plant. The eyebright is definitely the first one. Well, I say definitely, I don't know definitely, but I feel confident. So let me put this noted down. So I think it's eyebright. The one that is like that, but with some things coming out of it. It's just for fun, I think. It hasn't said anything that I need to water anything. So there might be something later. I think that second one is possibly Fennec. And then whatever that one is. Alright, so I'm going to keep this one out. Before I end the day, I am going to go ahead and look at this coin. Where did that go? Gosford, 1813. Here we go, Gosforth, right here. I shouldn't have come here. A darkness hangs over this town like an executioner's blade. I feel a rising dread in my chest. Okay, so, ooh. Let's go ahead then and see. I'm going to wait for a second for my will to explore to come back. I want to see what happens when the rising dread finishes in this one. Because it's been quite some time since I've played, and I don't really remember what happens. Yeah, I don't remember what happens when you actually get the rising dread. Do you have a game notebook? I have this image of your desk covered in loose bits of paper with random bits of information. I do have a game notebook that I write in at times, but I also have, like for this one, I have like one sheet just set aside for it because I kind of know that I won't need like the whole notebook. But I do actually have a notebook that I write ideas and the like in. All right, it's almost there. And I'll try going back to Gosforth again. You have me pegged, though. You definitely do. Although I've been into bullet journaling for quite some time, but I haven't really made use of all the ones I have. So I've been working on putting one together for like writing down my stream ideas and when I stream so that I can kind of keep track of that as well. And so I've been working on that. I've got the first 2 months prepared so far, so all of January and all of February. And then I have stuff set aside already. Like I've kind of picked a theme for each month. Um, so yeah, I'll have to post some pictures of that in the Discord. I have definitely had that happen before. I could just imagine you sorting through your desk and finding random names and letters with numbers and having no idea what they for. Yeah, I have definitely done that. Especially like ideas that come to me about something that I want to follow up on later, or um, yeah, I think there are things like that, and definitely I have been like, okay, what was this? Why did I think of this? Um, Especially if it's something that like it's like, oh, right before bed or while I'm sleeping. Um, a shiver travels down my spine. My mind is broken. Now I have to, I guess, put it back together. Okay, so oh, these aren't all in the right spots. Okay. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've played this one, so let's see. That one needs that. This has some of that as well. Okay, so this has two sides to it. Okay, but it's not that or that. Okay, that one fits there. Does it fit on that side? No. Um, okay, then this one. This one has a little bit of the dots going this way. No, it's from a different spot though. Yeah, they do click together, thankfully. Oh, no, no, but it's close with that one. Okay, no, this one. This side. Do this. Nope. Hmm. Okay. So, okay. So it's the symbol for the game. Is it? There's this. So that matches there. And then there we go. All right. I feel revived. My mind is whole again. There's a hint button to the right of the shop screen. It might be helpful if you get stuck. Okay, yeah. And that I mostly wanted to do just because I couldn't remember what it was that happened. And I know it's always fun to see that. All right, so there's the end of the day. It's Pet Hellebore. And then there we go. In T-Bay, a noble elder stood silently watching starry skies. Hmm. And take a look at the first letter of each one. Tells you a direction to go, I think. A noble elder stood silently watching starry skies. I love puzzles. Um, and anything where I can kind of like just sit there and visualize like by the shape, I'm good at that. The funny thing is though, like if you tell me, like kind of when we were playing Beyond Eyes on Tuesday, I can't map anything in my head. Like I have no ability to do that whatsoever. That's one of Angaris's. It's one of his things that he can do. I absolutely cannot. But if you give me shapes, even if with like nothing else on them, I can easily fit shapes together. All right, so a young woman alone in the world. She was taken in by the sisterhood and given a home. It was a chance for redemption, a new start. Okay, so this is the girl with the sisterhood who went missing. Let's go ahead. Let's start at T-Bay. Where did I see that before? T-Bay is all the way over here. All right, so T-Bay. A noble elder, so northeast, stood silent, south-south, watching west, starry skies, south-south. I find myself on a patch of moorland, surrounded by jagged peaks and menacing clouds. A distinctive plant stands out against the swaths of purple heather, and there another. Ooh. Ooh, those are both pretty. And that bluish purple. Purple and bluish purple, absolutely the best. All right, let's go ahead and pop this away. And Simone is back. Long Meg. Sorry, I've not heard of it, but I'll keep an eye out for you in the library. Okay, good. As long as you can get me some Fever Kiss, that is. Too many late nights in the library are taking their toll. All right, so I thought Fever Kiss was, that's Meek Do, this one. Am I right? Okay, there's our Fever Kiss. Mountain Astery. Interesting. Let's bring this one over here. And this one I can go ahead and change to yellow now that we know that that's the right one. Keep our labels over here. This area is getting a bit crowded, but that's okay for right now. Okay. I know you have your own methodology, but I want you to rainbow order the flowers. All right. You know what? Let's go ahead when we have ads go again, I'll start rainbow ordering the flowers. 'Cause yeah, that is something I would normally do as well. And if not rainbow order, I'd be sitting over here trying to put them in alphabetical order. But yeah, as soon as our ads come up, that's what we'll start doing. All right, David Schaefer. There's talk around town of a woman who wears a green mask made of jade. There are all sorts of oddballs in Undermere, but that's certainly unusual. All right, Beckfoot candle. Okay, so let's find Beckfoot. There's Beckfoot, so let's grab this guy. Put that on Beckfoot. And kind of try to center it. There we go. And then candle right here. Okay, the candle leads me to wastewater. To the north, the mighty Scafell Pike grazes the sky. The tallest peak in England. The challenge beckons to me, perhaps another time. Okay, so... Oh, okay, there we go. Ooh. Ooh. With so many colors, you just have to... Yeah, I agree. And I definitely do like organizing like that too. Although I'm going to have to figure something out because... Yeah, I also have all these. So, yeah, because I'm starting to get things like mushed in wherever. All right, Forest Vare. I've been talking to people around town, trying to learn as much as I can about this beast that is rumored to have been seen in these parts. In the old world, they called this thing the servant. but the people here seem to have forgotten that name, except a group calling themselves the Seeds of Redemption. They are something I didn't expect, and they've made it clear that they want me to stay away from the servant. They seem to worship it. But I'm getting distracted. My duranthium supplies are low. I need more. So we need duranthium. Okay, a plant with powerful mind-altering abilities. Those who inhale smoke from burning its long, sharp leaves elevate their awareness to levels thought otherwise unachievable. Some know duranthium as green eye, a name derived from the telltale sign of overdose, where even the whites of the eyes take on a green tint, which we definitely see in him here. So duranthium has long, sharp leaves. Alright, so this has long, sharp leaves. Thin leaves, so not quite. Dark purple flowers. Long flowers, or long leaves with purple flowers. Yeah, that's dark purple. Pleasant, fresh aroma. Alright, so it's not one we found yet, so it's nothing that's all the way over here. It's got to be one of these then. So long, sharp leaves. None of these really have sharp leaves. Unpleasant scent. Those are very short leaves. Let's see. Long, sharp leaves. None of these really seem to fit. Oh, hold on. I have this one. No, it's not that. That's definitely not sharp leaves. I'm wondering if I don't have that one. Let's take a look over here. Tomb of the Hunter. Let's see, 14B. The memorial bears the name Swaif Prior. It stirs a memory. He was one of the Dreer. Theirs is a lonely life, at the mercy of a dangerous addiction. They build a tolerance to the duranthium sap in childhood that they might benefit from its potent effects, but they'll die if they stop taking it. An unusual plant grows sparsely around the memorial. Okay. Ah. Alright. So, long, thin leaves. Yes. So here we go. So it helped that we went and did that because we also know the Dreer are known as hunters. And there we go. Perfect. Go ahead and put that up there. Thank you. I was hoping that I could figure that one out. All right. So here is Reuben. I crept around Black Comb 2 nights ago in the pitch black. The eyebrice is some potent stuff. I could see clear as day. Up on the fell, I found a shallow pit full of skulls, some deer, fox, badger, and some human. There was an eerie silence about the place, and every part of me was screaming to get out of there. Back down on the flat, I heard a terrible noise, like an axe maker's whetstone, but unmistakably animal. High on the ridgeline, I saw a cowled woman wearing a jade mask watching me, and beside her, something dark, inhuman, and bloody huge. I don't mind admitting that I'm out of my depth on this one. I need to speak to Verona again. Alright, and he needs some wild coal. Let's go ahead and look for that one. Wild coal. Purple berries are recommended by physicians in place of hair of the dog mentality, as a tonic for those suffering the effects of having drunk too much the night before. Let's see, there are some who consider wild coal a sacred plant, perhaps owing to its rarity, and claim it's bad luck to pick berries from it. So, purple berries, I think that was this one. Thin leaves and small purple-red berries. Yes. Okay. All right. So Norwood, bite of the crunchy root. It's claimed Norwood releases spores that are invisible to the naked eye. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and take this. It is almost time that ads are going to start. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pop these all in here for now. Just to make some room. And then so let's take this one over here. Let's start with all of our red plants up on top. So we know St. John's poppy, candlewood, eyebright. Oh, sorry, Vex. Let's see. Then we also have Royal Gentian and Maiden Sorrow. Those are red kind of going to pink. Butterdale. I think Dranthium would go well with this one as well, instead of with purple. Yeah, I like those together. Let's just move these all over just a little bit so that maybe I can do that, and then do that. Yeah, there we go. That kind of lets us see more of those. We don't really have any orange. So instead, let's go ahead and start putting yellow flowers down here. So there's some yellow. This one has yellow. Let's see, I'll go ahead and I'll keep like with the pink to purple ones up here, I think. Go ahead and add that one, move this way. And then we'll have these, as well as this one up here. Put these, since they're more just green, over here. And then we'll have some blue. This one over further. This one would go before that, I think. Alright. And that those. This is more of a dark blue. It's a bluish gray. Let's go ahead, I'll put that one there. And then this. And then I'll actually bring this one down here. So the more like purpley blues can go here. Yeah, I think that works. And we'll put this one. And then that one is more white. All right, so there are some more that are red that I'd want to put over there. I guess let's take these ones down here. And I'll put this one more like here. How about that? Yeah, I think that gives that all a little bit more room. We'll just move that out of the way. So there's that. There's like more of the pink leaning into purple and reds. And I can even go with these that are more of a dark purple. Put up here. This one over, that one over. I can put this one over here. And this one here. This I'll keep with blue, I think, as well as this one. So I'll move these like that. And then we can also put this one. You know what? I'm gonna put the wren. Oh, my cat's being silly over here. All right, leave these like this. And then the wren, I'm actually gonna put over here. Not because it's a mushroom, but it just, I don't know. I think I like the way it looks over there. And then we have this that's Meek Do, but we don't have it confirmed. That one is a bright red. So I think I want to move these over this way. Take actually this one to put here. And then Meek Do, I'll move this way. There we go. So there's all of our red ones together. And then we are in ads, so we'll go ahead, we'll take care of those. Yeah, I think this looks okay. Maybe I'll actually move these that are just plain plants. I'll actually take this one over here since it's kind of more of an orange. Yeah, let's do that. And then there are blues and blue-greens. Yeah, I like that. And then I'll go ahead, I'll take these ones off this way. So we'll put these ones up here. Put these here. And then that's kind of nice. So those are ones that don't really have any kind of flowers to them. And then let's go ahead. So these are the ones that are more purple. Okay, blue to blue purple. And then kind of bluish pink. Oh no, we know what that one is, we just don't have it set yet. All right, so we have these. Those are all kind of more blue and purple. I'll go ahead and I'll put this one down here anyway for now. We've got these that are more red and orange. And then that's kind of a pink color. So there, yeah, we've got those all kind of sorted out now. We see what we have that's not sorted yet compared to all of these that we do have sorted. And there we go. I think that's pretty nice. Don't forget the unidentified orange flower. Was that this one? Yeah, so I have all the unidentified ones right here. And then these are unidentified mushrooms, but I'm going to leave the mushrooms where they're at over there, just because if I know I have my mushrooms there, I won't go looking elsewhere. So yeah, there's the ones that have not been found yet, or have not been identified. And these are all the ones that have been. Hmm. I kind of want to... do this. I want to take these over here. And that blue. Keep some of these purples down here, I think. No, that's definitely more pink. It's more of a blue-green. Yeah, let's kind of spread some of these over this way. Let's do a little bit more like this. So we got some more blues and purples this way. That one is purple as well, but I like that it's kind of like the more grayish. So I'm gonna like leave these ones over here. And then these are our nice like yellow ones. So we've got our warm colors all over here. All right. I still kind of want to... This one maybe should go all the way over there. What do we think? Yeah. And then this one is definitely more pink. There. Yeah, I think that has a bit better symmetry to it as well. What do you guys think? All right. Excellent. And yeah, definitely, I definitely like that more myself as well. And then this is perfect because then I have all of these. I have a nice area right here. All right, let's go ahead and keep on rolling then. Michael Bennett. My neighbor has a foul-smelling mushroom that she says can ward off evil spirits. It's a horrible little thing that attracts flies, but I'd rather that than sit and do nothing. There's something very strange out in the woods, and that one was this. All right. Here's Verona back again. Poor Reuben, he looks a little worse for wear this morning. He took it hard when his wife died and never did quite give up the drink. Anyone connecting dots here? I think I know what ritual was performed at the stone circle. It all adds up. It was a summoning spell. Someone called to something across the void and tried to bring it here, and with the state of that body all torn to shreds, I'd say they succeeded. And then the gilded dendra. That really got me thinking. I found this in Dr. Worthing's bestiary, a little light reading for you. I'm headed to Griesdale Forest again. The sisterhood will know more. It has many names. Some call it the Woken Dendru, believing it to be related in some way to the deadly gilded dendra plant. Others call it the Night Stalker, the Miasma, or the Dread, but the most common name for it in the Shires is the Servant. You'll have heard of it in children's songs such as Keep the Fire Burning and Servant and Master, and there are hints of it in the older stories, but nobody alive has seen it in the flesh. It is said that the dead ground northeast of Tebay, where nothing but black Digitalis mortis grows, was caused when the servant last walked our lands hundreds of years ago. All right. I know we just had Anne's, but we are 3 hours in, um, and we're about halfway through the game. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here and pick up with this next time because this is a really good spot to start. Start from next time because now it's kind of getting into that deeper chunk of the story. So let's go ahead and pick up with that there. We can leave off with our nice, well organized plants. And we'll start next time with our new day. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead, stop here, and I will see you all Saturday. So Saturday 2 o'clock. Yes, it is much nicer to look at, isn't it? All right, good night everybody. See you on Saturday. Bye.